Hey YouTube, this is Tito Girl coming to you finally at home. I got released Friday from the hospital. Thank God they finally got my blood count up to a therapeutic level in order for me to go home and I'm on an actual blood thinner, and I'll be on that for 6 months. And I'll have weekly doctor's appointments just to check my coumadin level and my iron level to make sure that my blood count is where it's supposed to be. So, and I did go to the doctor today, and they took my blood, and they'll give me a call and let me know how everything looks, if I need to adjust my medication or what. But before I go into just kind of tell you actually what happened, I want to give you my numbers, and because I got to make some corrections on my numbers. Apparently the scale that I have at home is not a good scale. And I noticed that actually the day that I went to go see my surgeon for my follow-up appointment, because I wanted to make sure that everything was accurate on my weight loss, because it seemed like things were just moving real fast. But the day that I went to go see the surgeon, which was like almost 2 weeks ago, I weighed, my scale said 332 pounds and some points. And then when I went to go see the surgeon that same day, probably an hour difference, their scale said 340. And so I said, oh, okay, all right. Well, when I checked out on Friday from the hospital, the scale said 338. And when I got home, it was registering below 330. So I figured it out. My scale's off, and I thought I had a good scale because I purchased it. I purchased it from Ross, and it was like a $50 scale, and I got it at a Ross price for like, I think, $20 or something like that. But anyway, I'm gonna be looking for another scale. So if someone, if anybody has any suggestions of what's the best one to get where you can get an accurate count. But I know, my numbers are different based on that, because it was like 6, sometimes 7 pounds off. So my true weight, because what I did when I left today to go to the doctor's office, I weighed, and of course the scale said 326 or something like that, or 27. And then when I got to the doctor's office, it said 337. So I know my scale has to go, and because I don't want that inaccuracy like that. So my weight is 337 pounds, which is still good. I'm excited because when I did go in the hospital, with all of the fluids and stuff like that they were putting into my system, I did gain a few pounds, but I had lost them back by the time that I left that Friday. So my weight is 337 pounds, which gives me a total weight loss of 39 pounds, and that's from my highest weight of 376. So I'm still excited. Even if I lost 2 or 3 pounds between last week Monday and this Monday, that's excellent for me. I'm celebrating however many pounds, even if it's some points, I'm going to celebrate it, because I've never had this rapid weight loss like this before. So I'm excited about that. But back to the story of what happened. And I want to tell the story as not only a testimony, but I also want to tell it just so you'll know, those who are having surgery, who's recently just had your surgery, listen to your body. Listen to your body. And that's what happened to me, listening to my body. Everything was going well. I was eating well, getting food down, no problems or anything like that. The only thing I was kind of struggling with was walking. I would walk somewhere. I'd walk to the restroom while I was at work and come back, and I would just be completely out of breath. Sit about 5 minutes, then I'm back okay. But it kind of seemed like it was getting worse, because if I walk a short distance, and it would just take a lot out of me. And I kept saying to myself, this is only because you're still on liquids and you're lightheaded and you had major surgery and yada 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 yada. But still, things just didn't feel right. So the night before, my husband and I, we were going to go walk, and I told him I just couldn't do it. I didn't have any energy. So I said I definitely was going to talk to the surgeon. That was going to be my follow-up appointment. And so when I went to the doctor, told the surgeon what was happening, and he said, well, you know what, that's not right. That shouldn't be you shouldn't be experiencing that. If anything, with this much weight loss, you should be moving around good. You should have a lot of energy and all of that. So he said, well, I'm going to do a CAT scan. He did a CAT scan, and it came back. I had blood clots in both of my lungs. I mean, big ones, they said. It's a wonder that I did not pass away because they were so severe. They rushed me immediately over to Baylor Hospital. Went to Baylor, and they was trying to debate whether or not if I needed to go in intensive care versus regular. But the fact that I was walking around, breathing on my own, talking, no problems, no difficulties or anything, they was just in awe. And so they said, well, we're just going to, this is the first night is very critical because we don't want any of those clots to move. So they put me on a high dosage of blood thinners. And then they start pumping all of the saline and all that stuff into my system. And I had to go complete bed rest for those 24 hours. I couldn't do anything. Even if I went to the restroom, I had to have like 2 nurses standing there waiting on me to go and come out because it was just that critical. Because they were saying, again, I should have been in ICU on oxygen, heavily sedated, not moving around because of where the blood clots were and all of that. But I know, and doctors were coming in looking at me because they couldn't believe that I was breathing 100% on my own. And they was just in awe, and I just kept telling them, it's God. I said, it's God. He's taking care of me. He's already taken care of this whole situation. So that's the positive attitude that I kept because he did. He told me, I got this, and just have peace, rest. That's why you're in there. And that's what I did. And then a week later, then they decided to do a sonogram on my legs just to make sure that I did not have any more blood clots. And lo and behold, they found another big blood clot in the back of my right knee. So, make a long story short, they went ahead and we did the IVC filter. They put a filter in so that if that blood clot tried to move or break away or pieces break away from it, it couldn't go anywhere. It would have to disseminate. So I am on blood thinner, and I will be on that for about 6 months. I have to do about a weekly checkup, or it just depends on the doctor and their comfort level and my numbers. But I just want to say, I know doctors are always on the go, because my doctor even admitted that, he listens, but he's not listening because he's thinking about the next patient. And, he didn't have to act on what I told him how I was feeling, but he listened. And so that's what I kept telling him. I thank him for listening, because he did not have to listen. And then me listening to my body. My body is prone to blood clotting. Whether if I had any other kind of surgery, this could possibly be a problem. It wasn't, it just wasn't just because I had weight loss surgery, but that is one of the side effects, blood clotting. So I just say, listen to your body. Sometimes we have a tendency to want to overdo it and think that, if it doesn't feel right, tell your doctor, ask your doctor, and make them sit down there and listen to you if it doesn't if it doesn't feel right. I give all glory to God, because it was Him who, saved me before that storm hit on me, because they said the size of the clots would have killed me if it would have made it to my heart. So I thank God, and I thank each and every one of you all for all of your well wishes, for all of your words of encouragement, for your shout outs on your videos, for your prayers. You didn't have to do any of that. And that just really, I said, these are people that I don't even know, never met, but we've met on video. But they took the time out to think about Tito Girl. So I thank you, and will always thank you, and I will be forever indebted to each and every one of you. And if you have any questions, any more detail about what, my it's called pulmonary embolus, or PE, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to respond and let you know about, if you're having certain symptoms or anything like that. My exercise, I've been released to continue walking. That's all I can do right now, is walking. And so they want me to keep it moving. And that's what I've been doing. I've been keeping it moving. I sit in a chair and I use my little bells. I use those. And I'm working on my arms, and I get up every hour and walk around the house. My eating, I'm on soft foods, so it's a lot of ground chicken, ground turkey, ground beef. Last night I had salmon, and I have tilapia, and I'm following a little